All right, W just died. Welcome, welcome to the Shut Your Mouth Lounge, spooky Halloween edition.
I'm soon.
Yes, Soon is here, and he's the only one in the call. All three of us are ghosts. The rest of us. He summoned us with.
All right.
He
So
summoned,
I'm the host this time.
yes,
The others all died. Unfortunately, I've taken over the podcast.
he summoned us with a Luigi board.
A Luigi board, yes.
We can't say the other name because it's copyrighted and we'll get sued.
And whenever you move the Luigi board around, it starts sounding like Charlie Day.
Instead of scraping sounds, you hear, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Mario.
So yeah.
You good there, Alex?
Yeah.
I think I'm good, yes.
Okay.
I was trying to make a joke about the Mario movie, but I forgot who even got casted as Luigi. So hey.
Charlie Day. That's why I said Charlie Day.
Oh, okay.
They cast the guy from Always Sunny in Philadelphia as Luigi, the like 5'3" guy.
I wouldn't know. The only character I know from Always Sunny is Danny DeVito. He doesn't have a character. It's just Danny DeVito. Wait.
More or less.
You've seen the Charlie Day character. I guarantee it.
I mean, I've definitely seen it. I've definitely seen
you've
it.
at least seen that meme with like him pointing at the wall with like all of the little like strings and diagrams.
Pepe Sylvia.
Yeah. I did see the meme, but I'm gonna be honest. The guy, like in my memory, the guy's face looks like TETSUO and Chris Pratt, and Chris Pratt is already in the movie, so I was just like,
Yeah.
something's wrong.
Yeah, pretty well.
That meme right there.
Yeah, yeah. I have
you've seen Charlie Day.
Yeah.
He's out of the main three Always Sunny guys.
I'd say he was the best cast in the Mario movie, though. To be honest,
I don't know.
Well, I'd say who's like least inaccurate to the character.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
does Donkey Kong even like talk in the games?
Not really.
Yeah, I didn't think so. And now he's Seth Rogen.
Who I don't imagine will even bother to make a gorilla noise.
Nah, he'll just be Seth Rogen. He's always just Seth Rogen.
I mean, I think the most entertaining one will probably be Jack Black.
Yeah.
Jack Black as Bowser. He's just gonna be there for the memes.
Yeah,
possibly. It's difficult to tell because Jack Black does seem to genuinely enjoy and respect video games. So
he does. He also does care about voice acting. Like he's a good voice actor.
Yeah.
He does really. He did a really good job with Poe.
Absolutely.
Yeah, admittedly, Poe was par for the course for him.
Well, yeah, Poe was kind of Jack Black, but also he still did really well with the character.
I mean, it's just like, School of Rock or whatever, where it's Jack Black plays the character who is fat doofus who turns out to be surprisingly competent.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jack Black plays Jack Black.
Yeah.
But the problem with Bowser is that he's not really. He's bulky, but he's not fat. He's also is actually incompetent. He seems more competent than he is.
Bowser is entirely different from game to game. Some games he's a big dumb asshole, and in other games he's fucking Godzilla in waiting.
Yeah.
In some games he's a big dumb asshole. In other games he's Godzilla in a fursuit for some reason.
Godzilla with a mohawk, you mean?
Yeah, Godzilla with a mohawk.
No, I'm pretty sure in the Bowser's Fury.
Mario's the one with the fursuit.
Both of them have one. From what I remember, there's a problem.
Mario's the real furry.
Yeah, Mario is the real furry, but Bowser also, for some reason, becomes a cat in Bowser's Fury for some reason, and I don't get why.
I always just
Mario-
think of what Shigeru Miyamoto said. They're all just actors playing different parts in different plays.
But yeah, Mario is the real furry because he can decide if he's a cat or a raccoon. He just really wants to be an animal or a frog. He's also been that.
I like to think that behind the scenes, Luigi's a huge ladies' man.
Absolutely.
Well, he is tall.
Yeah,
Everyone knows that tall guys get all the ladies.
and
Absolutely.
Mario's
Oh, no, I'm only
he's
5'7".
at it.
He's tall and has big shoes.
Yeah, you guys are all a bunch of shorties.
Woe is me.
I don't even know how tall I am. Like I was going to say, I don't know how tall I am in Freedoms. I don't know how tall I am, period. So, like, last time I was measured, I was like 2 meters tall, but that was when I was 14. So,
Can we not invoke the spirit of Grimmer?
What is that? What do you mean by that?
How Grimmer keeps coming on the forum and just talking about short people, and it's like, okay.
Wait a second. You said you were 2 meters tall, Addy, at 14?
and I wasn't square 2 meters tall, but yeah, I don't
You were
remember
6'6"?
something like that.
What?
Maybe I don't fucking
You
know,
were
dude.
6'6"? You should be an NBA player, my guy.
I don't fucking know how tall I am,
If he
dude.
keeps growing, then that means that Eddie is now Andre-sized.
No, I'm
But
definitely
still,
not. I'm definitely not like 7 foot, or it could be like I couldn't be built 7 foot. I don't think.
I like to imagine that Eddie's this huge guy at the tiny little desk with computer, and he's just like having to chicken pack everything.
Addy's like Shaq. He's like the Hungarian Shaq.
No, I don't think I've grown that much since 14.
That's why the fursuit's taking so long. They're having to make it so big.
Still, 6'6" is huge.
Maybe
There is no way you were 6'6" at 14, Addy. That would actually that would medically qualify as gigantism.
Yeah.
I don't fucking remember, dude.
There's no way that you were 6'6".
Numbers elude me.
Actually, that's not even 6'6". That's 6'7".
If you were 6'7" at 14, that means you need to look into getting your acromegaly cut out, because that can cause serious fucking health problems later in life.
I think you were maybe like a meter and a half.
It was somewhere between a meter and a half and 2
No,
meters.
not
I
a
don't
meter and a
fucking
half.
remember.
Meter and 3/4. That's my guess.
What the fuck is a meter and 3/4, dude?
That's 5'7". That's Pink's height.
But like,
So what we're hearing is that Addy, as a small child, could beat up Pink as a grown man.
yes. I mean, I did have a mustache by like age 12, I think. Like I had a big mustache but no beard. So, yeah, that was funny.
Anyway,
Anyway,
Soon, what did you do this week? Oh, thank you for asking, Soon.
Before we hit that, Soon, did you put anything up on your YouTube channel?
Oh yeah, of course. All the videos.
All right, he has put up all the videos. Go and watch Soon's YouTube channel for all the videos.
95% of all YouTube videos belong to Soon, just so y'all know.
That's a true statistic. Pink, what you put up on your YouTube channel?
On my YouTube channel, there is... I actually don't remember. There's got to be at least an episode or two of Dead by Daylight and Left 4 Dead up at this point.
All right.
Statistically speaking, Dead by Daylight needs to have happened at least once.
Yeah.
There's a very true statistic. Eddie, what have you got coming up on your channel?
Nothing yet. I'm still trying to get stuff together for the first channel, and then on the second one, maybe I'll do like commentated playthroughs of some games so I can review them later. I don't know yet.
All right. On my channel, there won't be anything unless there's a big Warhammer 3 trailer this week, but it doesn't sound like there will be.
Okay.
And maybe not. And on the FOS group channel, Addy, what is there?
Well, today, by which I mean the day that this comes out, we will have Sonic. Woohoo!
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, the scariest thing of them are Sonic Adventure 2. Oh boy. So yeah, that. Then, as you're watching this, yesterday we did upload 2 videos, which were Control and Vampire, which were not scheduled, but hey, Halloween week be Halloween week. It needed to be done. Just like Picking Up Dead. So,
Sacrifices need to be made.
Yeah, we started with Goku.
that's why he hasn't been in any podcast since the 200th one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's then on Monday. Oh yeah, there should also be a drawing video somewhere there along the lines. But yeah, on Monday we will have Part 7 of Persona 5. And then on Friday we should have Ratchet and Clank episode 24.
All right, that one's still going, huh?
Ratchet and Clank is going until Christmas, like legitimately to until the day of Christmas.
Ah. All right. Then soon. What have you been doing over the past week?
So this past week, first off, I got Guardians of the Galaxy, the game.
Yes.
Which was actually, I think everyone was surprised. The game is actually good.
Wow.
My God.
It's actually like really good, honestly.
Inconceivable.
It honestly, I'd say it's a more accurate representation of the comics than the movies were by like a long shot.
Well, considering the movies did almost nothing to be accurate to the comic book Guardians.
That's
Right.
true. But yeah, like Drax is also really, really well written in this game. He's definitely not a walking punchline like he is in the movies. He's actually a very nuanced character, honestly.
I like
And
it.
they do a lot of interesting things with him. And Rocket is, well, he's Rocket and is the cause of all of the conflict in the team because that's just what Rocket is like. But yeah, no, the game is really good.
He's the Johnny Storm.
Yeah, exactly. At first, the gameplay at the start of the game is really, really awful. But now, as I've gotten later into the game, it flows a lot better once you unlock all of the abilities and you upgrade your guns. And it makes the gameplay is a lot better later in the game than it is early in the game. And I think most of the reviewers, by the time they released the reviews, had forgotten how terrible the gameplay was at the start of the game. Because it's almost...
I was going to say that's the opposite of the normal. Most reviewers don't get past the early stages of the game, which is why so many game devs front load their games with content.
Well, this game is on the shorter side. It's only like 20 hours, I think.
Oh, yeah, then critics would actually finish it.
Yeah, so critics would finish it. And the story and world building.
That's why they gave it a high score.
Yeah, exactly. They could fit it into their schedules. But yeah, no, the story, the characters, and the dialogue are all really, really solid in the game. Honestly, I would say that the writing is actually like up there as one of the better writing, the best writing for dialogue I've seen in gaming in a little while. Honestly. And the characters.
Like that's a particularly tight competition right now.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. Dialogue in gaming has never been particularly great, but this one, the dialogue is really good. Which, honestly, based on the trailers, I thought the dialogue was going to be really choppy and wasn't going to flow very well. But having played the game, I think that they just had poorly edited trailers like Square Enix always does.
Yeah.
It made the game look worse than it actually was. Yeah, no, the game is really good.
All right.
I'm only halfway through, I think, a little bit over halfway, but so far I really like the game. Outside of that, I watched Freaky, which is the Freaky Friday meets slasher film movie.
Oh yes, yes. I do remember hearing about that one. Yes, and
Yeah.
it's Vince.
Yeah, the
Vince
one with
Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn, unfortunately.
I will never watch that movie.
The concept of the movie is great. Having a teenage girl who's who's like the target of the killer end up swapping with the killer is a really, really interesting concept with a lot of potential. And I think that they did a decent job with exploring that potential. The movie
But
I actually did enjoy the movie. But I will say that if they had cast literally anybody else other than Vince Vaughn, the movie would have been a lot better, like substantially better.
Yep.
It's just really hard to buy Vince Vaughn as a slasher villain. So much so, so much so that the teenage girl ends up being a better slasher villain. She feels more realistic than he does, and it's actually really interesting how they handled her, because they did play into the limitations of being a teenage girl, with a slasher in her body. So the slasher's normal techniques wouldn't work because slashers typically rely on their abundance of strength, and she was actually getting beaten up pretty bad during the time she was trying to kill. So she had to use more ingenious ways to kill than just brute forcing them, which I really liked that, how they handled that. And the actress who plays the killer, or the killer inside you know what I mean, the teenage girl, also the killer, she actually did a really good job in the role. And overall, I actually do like the actress. I've seen her in another show that was criminally underrated that unfortunately got canceled. But yeah, she's a good actress, and she does the movie is mainly good because of her. I would say it is not good because of Vince Vaughn, and Vince Vaughn should never act in anything ever because he sucks. And he can't. He's bad.
Vince Vaughn is one of the only, Vince Vaughn may be the only actor who has never done anything horrible in real life that I'm aware of. That nonetheless, if he is in a movie, it is an instant no for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. And I almost did say no to this movie because of Vince Vaughn, but I'm glad that I watched it. It was a good movie with a really interesting concept. And again, if they had just cast someone other than Vince Vaughn, the movie would have been substantially better. Because if they had had an actor who could actually act as the actress, or even tried to act like the actress, it would have been a much better movie. Instead, you get Vince Vaughn flailing his arms around like he's a 5-year-old girl in a dress shop. Outside of that, I also watched The Omen last night. Not the original, unfortunately. I watched the 2006 remake.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if any of you have seen that. Have you?
I have not seen Omen, no.
Nor have I.
I may have, but I wouldn't know it by the English title. Let me check.
Well, the 2006 The Omen, apparently, from what I've heard, they did the Psycho remake kind of thing, where they just 100% faithfully remade the old movie.
Shot for shot?
Not shot for shot, but like they were very loyal to like the script of the original. And it's honestly just a really boring movie, and the actors that they cast, well, first off, the actors actually were good actors, but their performances in the movie were terrible. Like, for example, the lead character is played by Liev Schreiber.
Ooh, Leaf
who's
Schreiber
no-
can do good work, but he's inconsistent.
Yeah, he does good work. This movie he was very bland, and he put in a very, very mild performance that wasn't very good at all. And then none of the actors did very well in the movie, and none of them seemed like they cared at all. And from what I've heard, the movie was made just to cash in on the release date of June 6th, 2006. Because 666.
Yes, I'm aware.
And yeah, no, the movie wasn't good. It was very, very boring, and nothing really happened. And I honestly was just on my phone the whole time, but I didn't turn it off for whatever reason, because it was late at night and we only had time to do one movie before we needed to turn in.
Yeah.
And so we were halfway through before we realized, oh, this movie really sucks.
I'd rather sleep.
But we made it through the movie, and it was very nonsensical. Like, one thing that like bothered me a lot about the movie was at the beginning of the movie, when the Antichrist is supposed to be born, there's like these comets that show that they're like the final sign that the Antichrist is coming. And so the Vatican City has a priest who goes up to the Pope and like does this little presentation. And this, of course, happens on June 6th of 2001. So he does this presentation where he lists all of the signs that indicate that the Antichrist is coming and the apocalypse is coming. And during this presentation, he shows one of the signs of the coming Armageddon as 9/11. And they specifically made him do this presentation on June 6th of 2001.
That fucking cardinal could see the future.
He had a video of 9/11.
It was a dramatic
2001.
It was a dramatic pre-creation.
We gotta watch out that cardinal doesn't ascend any higher in the rankings. We might soon have time pope. Also, I love this shit of like, oh yeah, the Catholic Church is up and ready and up in arms to deal with this shit. And it's like, no, they wouldn't be, actually. Well, yeah, the Catholic Church doesn't do that anymore. That's actually a fairly big plot element of The Exorcist, that the Catholic Church doesn't do that kind of stuff anymore.
Yeah, the Catholic
Even in the medieval and Renaissance period, the Catholic Church was kind of cynical of supernatural stuff, really.
Yeah, the Catholic Church didn't do anything in the movie at all. They just had that at the beginning of the movie for some reason, and it never had any reasoning other than to show, oh, hey, Armageddon is coming. But like the Pope never.
I would love if the end of the movie was the Pope kicking in the door on the house and just shooting the kid.
Yeah, no, the end of the movie is the after Liev Schreiber gets shot by the police while trying to stab his son in the chest. The son gets adopted by the President of the United States for some reason. And the Pope just dies in bed. Sorry, what was that, Alex?
No, I was making noises to indicate my incredulity.
Yeah, so Liev Schreiber plays like the ambassador of the U.S. to London, and he's also the godson of the President of the United States. And then after he gets shot, and while trying to stab his son, the President of the United States, I guess, adopts the son. And they have a funeral for the ambassador and his wife, and they have a funeral for the ambassador specifically, where they do the whole, rifles with the American flag draped over the casket, even though they had just shown him getting shot because he was trying to stab his son.
Do they do the soldier's funeral for just random government guys?
Yeah.
Oh, that fuck. Okay.
But it like why? And then they showed the Pope just like passing away peacefully in his bed because I guess the Antichrist had won, and it was dumb. And then the Antichrist breaks the fourth wall and stares at you.
That could be neat, maybe.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, okay. It was neat and psycho, so I'm glad they ripped it off.
Yeah, that was a very, very poor remake. Outside of that, I don't think I really did anything. I think that's about it.
Pink!
Yeah. What did I do this week?
You spent the week tied to me.
Yeah, that's about it. Legit. I don't think outside of what did we do together? We did Control.
We did Control, we did Vampire, we did Dead by Daylight. What else?
Oh, was that this week as well?
Yeah, that was this week.
Dead by Daylight, Addy?
What about Dead by Daylight?
You have Dead by Daylight?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I only have it through PS Plus, so I can only I can only boot the game up when I can actually play it online. Wouldn't you know?
I have Dead by Daylight because of PS Plus too.
So wait, all 6 of us that do these podcasts and these recordings now have Dead by Daylight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you 2 have it on PlayStation, and me, Pink, Goku, and Mike all have it on PC.
Yep.
And Ted might have it on PlayStation or something like that soon enough.
Yeah, he might have it soon.
Sheesh.
So we could once
I need to kill Elon Musk.
Once you get your internet, we could just do a full custom game where I
also need to get internet.
We have all 4 of us in a party, and then someone is also the killer.
Yeah, we can just do custom games. Fuck the public lobbies.
Yeah,
exactly.
The nice thing is you can expect Pink or Mike or me to go a little bit easier on you newbies. As opposed to Addy, who loves brutalizing the newbies. Don't you, Addy?
I mean, I put up a good enough fight against the people of Pink CeeLo, so I think I'm fine.
Oh no, I was joking about that one time you brutalized poor Goku in Guilty Gear.
Yeah.
And me in Guilty Gear.
That's true. That is also true.
And everybody else in Guilty Gear.
To be fair, soon your attitude does not invite people going easy on you.
Yeah.
Like, there's more of an expectation to go easy on poor Goku because he's so soft-spoken and stuff. But
no,
like,
I didn't brutalize Goku in Guilty Gear.
Soon you'll be new to a game and be like, "Fuck you, motherfuckers! I'm the best!" And that's just demanding Addy to prove you wrong.
I didn't brutalize Goku in Guilty Gear. I brutalized Goku in Street Fighter 5.
Oh, you did both.
No, Goku never played Guilty Gear with us.
I thought he did.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am. Yes, we had one time when it was the four of us, the people who are in the call right now, that we played Guilty Gear. That's when I fought Soon, and then I played Street Fighter and Marvel 3 against Goku. Goku could actually put up a fight in Marvel 3. So by the time we got to Street Fighter 5, I just assumed he had a general idea of what he's doing. And then I also went with Fong, who I didn't know was a pop stomper. So
I was there for that one. I definitely remember going like, "Oh God, Andy."
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, we could definitely do Dead by Daylight. I mean, you guys could do Dead by Daylight without me, honestly. You've got 5 people.
Yeah, we just need to get Goku in sometime.
Indeed.
The trouble would be lining up everyone's schedules.
Yeah. That's the thing. Although I have weekends free, so if
I don't think Goku does. That's the thing. I think he has longer work times on weekends, which is why he's not on the podcasts.
He's on right now.
On his phone.
Not on the podcast, but
yeah.
He's been here this entire time.
Goku never leaves the call. He's always here.
He's always here. He just never speaks.
Deep in our hearts.
It's kind of ironic that we're talking about him like this while he has a Michael Myers avatar at the moment.
He does?
Yeah,
On the floor.
Oh,
it's Myers in the little ghost sheet with the glasses.
Ah.
neat. All right. What else did you do this past week, Pink?
I don't think I did anything else this week, honestly.
Eddie!
All right, me. So,
You!
me,
You!
me, Aries.
Zeus!
Anyway, we could have
Grayson!
Boy!
TETSUO.
Oh, I forgot the name of the character. Fuck.
KANEDA.
There you go. Yeah.
Just do all of the yelling memes. Speaking of Jason, we could do Heavy Rain. I do own it.
Jason.
Yeah.
Jake!
Mendoza! All right, that's enough of that.
Yeah, I was going to do Kanye, but there's not enough. There's not enough space in this room for me to do the Kanye.
On! There you go.
Yeah.
That's a shorter one. Bill Shatner just shoots for a bit of a shorter one, but it's angrier.
Yeah. So yeah, let's see. Well, after recording Vampire, I did play it off recording as well, which I have told Pink and Soon already off recording. But hey, I'll just repeat it. So, Vampire has an interesting thing where you can kill any people, and it's supposed to be a moral quandary whether you kill people or not, which would work fine if a lot of the characters weren't written like his GTA.
Yeah.
And then also,
I like to imagine the main vampire doctor dude being like, "Oh, I am so troubled and conflicted," and like you just look on the streets outside and it's like blood and gore everywhere, people torn in half and shit.
that is what's going on. Yes, Dr. Acula does suck.
There's a fucking genocide going on in London and nobody gives a shit.
There's not only genocides, but there's werewolves in London. Wouldn't you know it? But,
My God, it's
Are
unthinkable.
they American werewolves?
they don't.
American werewolves in London? No.
No, they don't.
That's a good question.
The one time one of them spoke, it was British.
I'm just riffing.
But is there a kid? But is there a kid in King Arthur's court?
Is there a Connecticut in King Arthur's court?
A Yankee?
Yeah, a Connecticut Yankee.
Damn Yankees.
They're in Japan.
Anyway.
Is there a King Arthur's court at all?
Yes, so no, I was going to say the freaking. There's a King Arthur's court.
Or have you been making this all up?
What?
Your mother.
Good. So.
What are you
Anyway,
saying?
this is a game about nailing Soon's mother
Yes.
as a Connecticut werewolf in King Arthur's court in Japan, I think. Good work, team. Let's go home.
Yeah. So yeah, Vampire also has a couple of interesting like design ideas that it presents, like like how killing people is bad morally, or supposed to be if they weren't such assholes usually, but you know, killing people is
lose
bad
out
morally.
on the story if you kill them, which is you know, you don't want to lose out on the story. That's what you play the game for. But then if you do feed on them, you gain more gameplay abilities. And so, do you want to play the game to play the abilities, or do you want to play the game for the story?
I want to play the game where half of the freaking whatchamacallit, the hospital staff are installing the beds, so I don't have to kill them.
All this talk about gameplay and story. I just want to eat the delicious walking blood bags on the streets of London.
Except there are no real walking blood bags on the streets of London because everyone's in lockdown.
Yeah. It's funnily enough, Vampire is set during 2020.
Oh,
Okay. It basically is though. There's just
Yeah,
like a plague going around, and everybody just has to like go and like quarantine in their houses.
Yeah, just
So
replace it.
that's why you don't see a bunch of NPCs. That's their excuse for the streets being so absent of NPCs.
Yeah, I mean, like
it was always plague written.
you just replace the Spanish flu. You just replace any mentions of the Spanish flu with coronavirus, and then freaking any mentions of vampires with vampires, and it works out.
People didn't give a shit about the Spanish flu.
They
Just
didn't.
fucking
But
killed them. People just died back then. They didn't give a shit. Especially in
That was
London.
life, but it was also death.
Especially in London, a little bit of that Ebenezer Scrooge there. Reduce the excess population. Oh.
But yeah, so it would be interesting, but like once again, all the characters have things that like makes them so we appear somewhere on the asshole scale, and so sometimes you can justify morally killing
Different
people.
variation of the Richter scale, that's for certain.
So sometimes you can justify killing people for the sake of removing from the story, and I killed two people for that reason. Walked down a street to head towards the actual story mission, and then the game crashed and it nearly locked up my PS4, so I deleted the game.
yeah,
Later, fuckers.
Yeah,
that's my experience with The Witcher 3 on like 5 different occasions.
nice. I played
Game-breaking bugs that made the game unplayable, so I deleted it and then reinstalled it and then deleted again after I got a different game-breaking bug that made the game unplayable 5 different times. The Witcher 3 is not the greatest game ever made. It's barely functioning.
It's barely a game. It has only
It's
Gwent.
barely.
But it has the
Gwent is
booba.
the reason to play it. Oh yeah, I forgot. It has boobs and
Yeah,
free
it does.
stuff.
It does have the big booba. It's not even big booba. It's just booba.
That's true. That is actually true.
Yeah, so
You'll be booba.
my fondest memories of the Witcher 3 are the times when Roach would get stuck in a tree, like it's stuck hugging it would spawn in, hugging a tree, and it wouldn't be able to leave. So I just had to walk everywhere. It was great.
That's great.
Don't mock him. That's how wood horses are made.
But I still have. I'm pretty sure.
Troy.
I'm pretty sure I still have. I have one picture and one video uploaded. One of them where Roach spawned in a tree, and one of them where Roach spawned in the water, but because he can't exist in the water, the game glitched him into a pier where he was presenting his ass into Geralt's face.
Couldn't you just walk away far enough that you like call the horse over and he just respawns?
I mean, usually when the space between where the horse would despawn and where the actual objective markers were, I would have been like halfway to the objective marker when I could have called the horse again, so I just walked.
Objective Markle.
I was going to bring something else up. Oh yeah, there was also that funny time that Geralt's chest didn't load in, so he was just like, I would call him Rayman, but Rayman had a chest.
Yeah. I had a point during The Witcher where textures just stopped loading in, and so everybody just had no textures.
I think I may have seen that one as well.
Yeah, it sucked. And then I had another bug, which was one of the ones where I had to delete the game, where suddenly I couldn't do damage to anything or hit anything except with magic.
Assassin's Creed Unity.
Yeah, my swords just completely whiffed everybody.
We couldn't even use magic in Unity.
We had guns.
Yeah.
That's better than magic.
I don't remember.
And then obviously the worst game-breaking bug, which Dubs is well aware of, is the one where I couldn't use a button on my controller at all for the entirety of the time that I had The Witcher 3 on PS4. Even if I deleted the game and reinstalled it, the button still didn't work. And the button is the one where you use magic. And you need to use magic for a lot of different side quests and main quests. So I couldn't progress in the story at all because I couldn't use magic because the button just didn't work. And I didn't get that fixed until I got the game on PS5. And
Nice.
then I had the game-breaking bug where I couldn't do damage. So I am never playing The Witcher 3 again.
If you had a nickel for every time you got that no button working bug, you'd have 3 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened 3 times.
2 times. The third time, I think you're thinking of Control, which was where my button was actually broken.
Okay.
The second time was, well, the first time was Red Dead Redemption.
Which I still have to say this every single time, but I have never heard of that bug happening in that game.
Yep, but it happened to me, and it was the button that you need to use to mount your horse. So, yay!
At least you don't
Try
have to pay
playing
for
Red
more
Dead
horses.
Redemption without a horse.
Anyways, what else to do?
Yeah, aside from that, I reinstalled Greedfall.
Oh
And then-
no!
I
Vampire and Greedfall, the 2 RPGs that had a ton of potential but ended up not meeting that potential because they were made by developers
focus home in
who
relative,
didn't
yes.
have a whole ton of skill.
But yeah, Greedfall. I mean, like I saw. So here's what happened. I saw The Witcher 3 was on sale. I was like, I can actually afford this. Like I have enough money in my PlayStation wallet to afford this, but then I may not be able to afford PS Plus. So then I went and the Greedfall because like Greedfall is just The Witcher 3, but with slightly different freaking mechanics.
Is it though?
It's close enough for me.
Okay.
Like, I genuinely prefer Greedfall to The Witcher 3.
Oh no, I agree with that.
But yeah,
But
like,
I don't think that the games are very similar at all.
I mean, they're both like freaking they're both Eurojank RPGs with booba sometimes. Although Greedfall has less booba. That's pretty much how I describe.
Comment on that
Witcher
because
3.
he was just so disappointed in how small the booba was.
If they're small, they're not worth mentioning. What were you even talking about?
The booba 3, the boobfall.
I don't know what that is.
Boobfall is when your boobs start to sag pink. It's when women's breasts start to sag. That's boobfall.
Oh, I thought you were referring to something different. Okay. Never mind. I was going to say there is definitely a porn for that. But no, hopefully there's not porn for what you just mentioned. No.
There's definitely porn for saggy breasts. There has to be at least 10 people who are into that in the world.
That's true, but I don't want to talk about it.
But anyway, yeah, Greedfall. I saw that last time I played through Greedfall, I played on an actual difficulty mode. This time I saw that it has journalist difficulty, which makes you immortal and allows you to just experience the story, which removed all of the not all of it, but most of the Eurojank. So I was like, hey, cool. I don't have to actually interact with the combat mechanic anymore.
Nice. Yeah, that is good. But you still have to deal with the poor voice acting and the shoddy animations.
I mean, the animations I'm fine with because it's Eurojank. And the voice acting too. Like the voice acting doesn't bother me as long as it's not World Super Police. Like if it's above that level, I can handle it. I'm gonna have to show you World Super Police voice acting someday.
You already have shown me.
Yeah, I already have shown W.
Can it really be worse than Elder Scrolls voice acting though?
Yes.
Which Elder Scrolls game?
Oblivion.
Ooh, Oblivion at the very least has Sean Bean.
That's true, but it also has Oblivion's the one with the Oh, let me do that line again.
Well, here's the thing. Oblivion doesn't have bad voice acting. It has bad voice directing.
That's true. That's true.
It's not that like Linda Carter and the other voice actors suck. It's that the voice director, for whatever reason, put all the lines in order of like the character's name or alphabetized instead of chronology.
Oh, that explains a lot. But also the people who were supposed to put in the lines dropped the ball pretty hard, or edit the lines, because again, there were several instances of people repeating the lines because they messed up the first time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that clip. Yes.
But yeah, so
Yeah, I would say Oblivion might be worse. Not
No,
because of the voice actors, but because of,
The direction.
everything else.
the worst voice acting in video game history soon is House of the Dead 2.
Oh, is that maybe the game with the creepy demons I kept talking about?
Suffer like G did?
Yeah, House of the Dead 2 is definitely worse than than Super Police. I have to add.
I am doing it for the life force. We gotta send soon that fucking the video of the House of the Dead 2 voice acting later.
We need to send soon the entire House of the Dead freaking series, because the entire series is like that.
Yeah.
At least the ones I've seen, but I don't know. I don't think I've seen, like, I forget if 3 was one of the old ones, but I don't think I saw past like Typing of the Dead. Either way, Readfall. So last time I played the character how I would usually play a game where I want to actually interact with the fighting mechanic, and I just play the rogue because hey, that's the class I know the most.
Yeah.
So this time I went with a mage, and let me tell you, it's really funny. The characters one of the first companions you pick up is the bodyguard of the character.
Yep.
And one of his battle quotes is "Stand back, things are getting rough" or something like that. And it's very funny when he says it at the start of the combat. Meanwhile, I've already killed half of the enemy team by flash stepping. Because apparently magic users get two moves: flash step and magic missile. And magic missile sucks. Never use it.
So you Naruto'd them to death.
Yes, pretty much.
Oh.
It was very funny. It was also funny in the freaking like a couple of times when people were threatening the character with the character is the legate of the congregation which rules the island, kind of, or at least a part of the island. And it was very funny when people were threatening the character with political stuff, because then it would enter combat, and I am the legate. They can't defeat me. I am literally immortal by the game's design. That's what this difficulty does.
I mean, to be fair, that's not really something to criticize the game with when
I'm not criticizing the game. I'm actually saying that it improved my enjoyment of the game because of the funny juxtaposition.
Yeah, all right.
But yeah, for actual criticisms, the magic doesn't really work sometimes. Like when people can block magic, and when people block magic, you need to wait for that entire animation to play out before they can be attacked again, and they may block it again, which is kind of an issue sometimes. And like I imagine it's even more of an issue when people actually pose a threat, that you just straight up can't hit some people.
Yeah.
And aside from that, the only other big thing that I can point out that I didn't like is how fickle the relationship thing that you have with the different guilds is, because it's like I spent, I don't know, like a full like month in game time raising the relationship with one guild continuously every day, and then I did one thing that pissed them off, so I'm suspicious again. I'm not their friend anymore.
Yep, that sounds like an RPG, all right.
Is it like New Vegas where there's like a special status for when you have a mixed relation?
I mean, yes, that is suspicious, but at the same time, like, basically what this decides is your ending, and you need to be friendly with all of the guilds to get the best ending, from what I understand.
Okay.
But if you're anything under friendly, so even if you have a good relationship with them, but you're not friendly with them, which is like friendly is the best. There's nice, there's suspicious, and then I don't know the lower ones because I don't usually. I didn't go out of my way to piss off everyone yet, but
You don't need to be friendly with the guilds if there's no guilds left behind. Just kill them all.
Yeah. But basically, at the end, you need to rally all of the people against one of the characters because they've become a tyrant, and they will only join you if they're friendly. If they're anything under that, then they just tell you to freaking kick rocks, and that kind of sucks when you spend like 3 days building a relationship, 3 real life days building a relationship with a guild, and then there's one mission where you have to choose between siding with one guild over the other. And then the guild you didn't side with is immediately just goes, okay, you're suspicious now.
So do you need to then work a ton of side quests to get them back up?
Yes, but there's not enough side quests to work it back up.
Oh, so it's one of those games where you have to do the main quest, stop right before the ending, do all the side quests, then do the ending.
Yes.
Joy.
Yeah. So yeah, that I did that. What else did I do? I'm checking the drawings because I did draw a couple of things, but I posted at least the Silent Hill one. Which I thought was fitting. I don't think there's anything scarier than that image that I could have taken out of Silent Hill.
Oh, let me go. Oh, I just saw the fucking Kirby picture again. I was like, what?
It's in the art channel.
My God.
Kirby's great.
There we go. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I love Pyramid Head there in the background, just running after him, but like struggling to keep up.
Yeah.
What the hell is James spilling? Oh, maps. I see.
Yeah, I drew the map of Silent Hill from memory for that drawing.
Ha!
And I think I got it pretty close. It's a zoomed in map with that has more of a focus on Toluca Lake, but still.
Yeah, well, Toluca Lake's a pretty important one to zoom in on.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah, I guess I did show you this one, but the only other thing I drew was this.
Oh. Oh.
Yes.
Okay, hang on. I gotta zoom in and see what the little guy says. Yeah, that's pretty Robotnik there.
Yeah, I feel like I captured him pretty good,
Yeah.
but I wasn't sure. The freaking the image is real freaking right to left because I didn't think about like I didn't actually. This wasn't supposed to be this originally. It just ended up this. so I had to accommodate. And then that's all I did. I think.
All right. For my week, I only really did 2 interesting things. You guys did see what I said about the Elon Musk thing, right?
Yes, that we need to go and strangely Elon Musk, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's oh, yeah. Yeah, that's that. Uh Other than that, a lot of my week has been schoolwork. It has just been nonstop. It feels like I feel like I need a fucking break, but my school got rid of my school used COVID as an excuse to get rid of fall breaks, so that's just not a thing here anymore.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Yay.
Other than that, earlier this week I watched for the first time a movie I've been wanting to watch for a long time but never had the opportunity to. Jingle All the Way. Now, soon have you watched?
Yes.
Okay, I was about to say that seems like a soon movie. For those who are not aware, Jingle All the Way is a Christmas movie starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sinbad. I forget who plays Arnold's wife.
It's the Ultraman movie, right? Or whatever.
Yeah, and Phil
Cookies.
Hartman. And it's a movie where Arnold Schwarzenegger plays a father who is kind of shit as a father, so he tries to make up for it by getting his son his favorite toy for Christmas. But Arnold Schwarzenegger is caught up in an absolute clusterfuck of consumerism throughout the whole movie, and it's just Christmas panic is the entire movie pretty well. And boy, that is a movie. It is objectively it's a bad movie. Objectively, it's a bad movie, right? Because it's a bit poorly edited. The writing, there's a lot of wasted time, or just like let's just do this for the bit, but have no real meaning to it. And oh my god, the entire back third of the movie is nothing but bad CG.
Yeah.
But ignoring how objectively bad it is, there is one thing that is very objectively worthy of respect, which is that Arnold, Sinbad, Phil Hartman, and Jim Belushi all realize what movie they're in, and they just go ham as much as possible.
Yep.
And that is why the movie is a beloved Christmas classic for a lot of people, because it is those four actors going nuts. Well, not so much Jim Belushi. He only is playing a bit part, though it is a very entertaining bit part. But it is largely Arnold, Sinbad, and Phil Hartman going ape shit for an entire movie.
Yep.
Like, my favorite line delivery has got to be the one that everybody... My favorite dialogue altogether has got to be everyone's favorite one from that movie, which is, of course...
Sorry, you cut out there. What'd you say?
Phil Hartman going, oh, these cookies, and Arnold Schwarzenegger yelling, screaming at the phone, put the cookie down, those my cookies.
Yeah, Jingle All the Way has some really, really great scenes. I like the scene where Arnold Schwarzenegger punches a reindeer in the face. Yeah, the bomb scene was always my favorite.
The package bomb is really good for how Sinbad delivers it in the moment, and then when it turns out it's actually a package bomb, and Sinbad goes, "There's some sick people in the world, man.
Sick people."
Of course, the final act has that hilariously bad CG, but it's nonetheless great because again, Arnold is in full mode while he's jetpacking around. And Sinbad is also going nuts, because how do you not in the costume they gave him?
Yeah.
Phil Hartman is delightfully smarmy in that movie. It's great how much he is just like, it's me, the entire movie. That is very much a movie that you do not watch for the movie itself, not for the writing, not for the editing, not for the way the jokes are written. You watch it for the four actors. Oh, and of course, there's the famous scene where Arnold gets into a fight with Vern Troyer in The Big Show.
Yep, the Santa scene.
Yeah.
Man, there's so many just great scenes in that movie. I don't care how bad the writing is or how hammy it is. They have some really, really memorable scenes that are objectively good, I would say.
Ooh.
Because I would say objectively good because of how, I don't know. There's just something about them that sticks with you.
I would say comedy can be funny while also at the same time having something to say and a story to tell.
Yeah.
what I would say is that hamminess is not necessarily bad, and there are some situations where hamminess is actually good. And if it wasn't hammed up, I'd say it's bad. Like for instance, if you're on the set, if you're playing a character in Addams Family and you don't yuck it up, I would consider that actively bad. Like especially for whoever has to play Gomez, that is a character where it is demanded. Like it is written into the character. This man is the biggest ham on the planet. You know? So sometimes it's necessary, and I think that is the super redeeming factor of Jingle All the Way is the sheer amount of ham.
Mm-hmm. That's what makes it so memorable, and so many of those scenes memorable is just how much ham the actors put into it, I guess.
My favorite one that's just like a second, if even that, is the scene where Arnold is going down a children's slide into a one of those ball pits, face first, and the camera just shows him going down the slide, and Arnold is just doing his hardest there. And it's so fucking ridiculous because like Arnold always does that for the panic noise he does.
Right.
But it's just funny that Arnold's like freaking out at the idea of getting dropped into a ball pit. Oh man. That is a delightfully stupid movie. It's a good one. It's a good one. I definitely got to show it to my family because for those who are not aware, anyone can watch it because it is currently free on YouTube with ads.
Oh, nice.
Which for those who have ad block, that's just free.
Yep.
All right. Other than that, I have not really. Oh yes, I've been listening to a lot of Jim Cornette shoots, which yeah, I was about to say. I knew as soon as I mentioned that Pink was going to get angry. It's not exactly an industry of saints, I'll say that. And Cornette is a Cornette's a hypocrite. I'll definitely say that. I think Pink, what really made you go like fuck Cornette, fuck him, was him saying that Becky Lynch should get an abortion, right?
I despised him well before that, but yeah, that certainly is more fuel to the fire.
Yeah, I mean, Cornette, like, I find him incredibly entertaining to listen to. I think the abortion thing was, of course, a very, very heinous thing to say. Not so heinous that I'm just like instantly like, all right, no, never watching a Cornette shoot again. But Cornette is definitely one of those guys that I listen to because he does have some interesting things to say and some intelligent things to say on occasion. And sometimes Cornette is fucking stupid as bricks because, for one thing,
I think he just talks so much that sometimes he says some smart things.
He has a fairly good. He can have fairly good insights into like match psychology and such. It's just that he also is really hung up on, for one thing, old kayfabe, which is, for one thing, impossible in the present day. But even if it wasn't,
wouldn't pay him in the present day, obviously.
I'm sorry, what?
Would not pay him in the present day.
Yeah, of course, because now Cornette lives entirely through shoots. But especially since NWA got rid of him after he made that stupid fucking joke. Anyways, yeah. He has that, and like even if hypothetically old kayfabe could work nowadays, I still just don't like it. Like, maintain kayfabe on the shows, of course. Don't be ridiculous. Like, cut out the Young Bucks need to go. I think everybody reasonable and rational agrees the Young Bucks need to go.
Indeed.
But at the same time, like, I think people can watch wrestling the same way they watch movies or TV shows, where they know, like, okay, well, yeah, these guys are playing characters, but I'll still observe it. You know, it's still a story that I'll watch.
Right.
Whereas Jim Cornette acts like people don't watch movies or TV shows. Cornette acts like people only watch something if they think it's real. Yeah, and Cornette has a whole bunch of other stupid things.
To be fair to him, a lot of people won't watch wrestling because they think it's fake, which is never made sense to me. Like, whenever I bring up that I've watched wrestling, people are always like, you know that's fake, right? And I'm like, of course I know it's fake, but so are movies.
To be fair, people only act like that because of guys like Cornette, though.
That's true.
But what was I going to say? Because inevitably it is fucking stupid, you know?
Yeah.
Because, like, if anybody ever actually sat down and thought about it, it's like, well, this doesn't have nearly the rules that amateur wrestling or boxing does. This doesn't work as a combat sport. Anyways, what was I going to say? Right, and I do think that Cornette's got a real problem of hyping up his own dudes. I think otherwise Cornette can be kind of honest about what he thinks about people. Because there are several guys that he has openly went against the IWC on, and there are several guys he's changed his opinion on. And it's always funny to hear Cornette shoot on Triple H, because Cornette always says, well, yeah, Triple H probably wouldn't be in the corporate position he's in right now if he hadn't married Stephanie. But guys, even if Hunter hadn't married Stephanie, he'd still be one of the biggest legends of the last 20 years because he's just good. And of course, every time the IWC plugs their ears, it goes, nah. Jim Cornette is secretly on Vince's payroll. It's confirmed.
Wait, when did the IWC decide that Hunter was bad?
Dude, have you not been paying attention?
2002?
Yeah, it's pretty well been since the SmackDown Reign of Terror, ever since Evolution, really. People have this idea that Hunter books himself to be strong. Like, people have this idea that Hunter books himself like Kevin Nash through Stephanie. People have this idea that Hunter is this egotistical maniac who married Stephanie exclusively to get himself booked to win matches. Which is immediately insane on its face. But it gets worse when you think about it. Hunter has lost how many matches?
A lot.
Mm-hmm.
And
Isn't he kind of just booked to lose most of the time? Like, that's
Yeah,
the point of his storylines?
Yeah, I was about to say, and Hunter's main recurring storyline throughout the entirety of his career is that he's the asshole who isn't the guy, but is desperate to try and be the guy. And even in his run as the corporate guy, he was projecting onto Daniel Bryan. But whatever. But Cornette has a serious problem when it comes to his own dudes, his own projects. Because I guarantee you, if Jim Cornette had not made New Jack, he'd be going on shoots saying that New Jack is the drizzling shits. But because New Jack was Cornette's baby, he acts like New Jack was brilliant. And all the hardcore stuff was, well, that just, I blame Paul Lee for that. No, excuse me, that's not Cornette. Oh, well, I fucking blame Paul Lee for that, fucking fucker. Fuck. Either which way, listening to all those shoots gave me a hankering for some pro wrestling. Problem is, I own 2K19, but I own it on the Xbox, and the Xbox is not in my room anymore. It is now in the living room, and I don't really want to play pro wrestling games in the living room because there's a TV that everyone needs to use. The most recent I can't install anything digitally. The most recent day game I own after that is 2K17 on the PC. But I can't download anything. Especially a game that's 60 fucking gigs.
No kidding.
So, 2K16 is the most recent one I own on PlayStation. And for one thing, obviously, Creation Suite is not a thing anymore on that. For another thing, I don't even really want to download the updates, because those are 5 gigs, Jesus Christ. I doubt they actually contain 5 gigs of content. Anyways, oh, right, they do contain the DLC. I guess that is true. Anyways, 2K16, I remember liking it at the time, because it was a massive leap over 2K15, but that ain't saying much.
Oh, yeah.
2K16 was still pretty rough in a lot of regards. Yeah. And was 2K16 the one that introduced the new submission mechanic where you do the little spin around the circle thing?
Yes, it was.
Oh.
Yeah, they had not tuned that one properly yet.
Nope.
Because I can get submission wins in 2K19 with that minigame. I fucking can't in 2K16 to save my life.
Yep, that was my main issue with 2K16, I believe.
Yeah,
the fact that submissions were just entirely pointless.
And here's another thing. When guys have really high stats, they'll still be going like super hard at no health. Because I've been playing Universe, and I've been trying to job Bray Wyatt out as much as possible and just like job him out to get Universe to start booking him like a jobber, right? Because I don't like Bray Wyatt.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is, I keep putting him against other main event guys, and I can't kill the fucker. I put him against Mankind the other night, and it took 3 fucking mandible claws.
Yeah.
Like, what? And of course, there's also the thing of these games, like, I didn't notice it back in the day when I played these games all the time, but now that, I've gotten a little bit older and I've just paid a bit more attention to older wrestling and so on and so forth, I'm really starting to notice, wow, these games really play like Japanese wrestling and nothing else.
Yep.
Because, holy fuck, like, it's just constant back and forth matches of constant fucking reversals. The AI reverses like a fucking maniac in 2K16. You can't get 3 moves off in a row on the AI in 2K16. It'll reverse the second or third, if not the first. And reversal timing was at its hardest in 2K16 because that's the game where they were trying to nurse reversing as hard as possible. Because that's also the game where they added limited reversals, correct?
I think so.
So not only do you have a limited count of reversals, but they also have way harder timing than in previous games. Like, it seems to me that you have to hit right trigger, you have to reverse right before the reversal icon actually pops up in this game.
Yeah,
Right.
kind of.
That's fucking stupid.
Just reversal for free. It's easy.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to just kind of guess at when the timing is for moves. Because, like, some of them, it's obviously a hit reversal as soon as you see the other guy move. But, like, there's a lot of them where it's, like, as soon as it connects, and then as the guy's holding you, you have to hit reversal. Fuck.
Right.
Anyways. That's been, it's still been relatively pleasant. 2K16's not got a bad roster. I was surprised by that.
It has Mikey Whipwreck. For some reason. I mean, I know why,
it
but it
does. It
does.
certainly does.
It has who?
Mikey Whipwreck.
Oh, yes. And he's the only one of the... Him and Superstar Steve Austin are the only 2 legends in the game that don't have actual pictures of themselves. They just have pictures of their in-game models for their character selecting.
Right.
Which, credit where credit is due, it at least makes it where the creative characters don't look out of place.
Yeah.
And of course, the first thing you have to do upon opening up the game is go into fucking create a WWE superstar, get Colonel Mustafa, and turn him into Sheik, right? Everyone agree with me on that?
Of course.
Yeah. I forgot he was in the game.
Yeah, Mustafa and Adnan are here. And correct me if I'm wrong, this is the game where Slaughter is on the character select screen, and he has the classic Sergeant Slaughter attire, but when you actually play him in game, he's got the Iranian Slaughter attire, doesn't he?
Yes.
I believe that is correct.
Which is stupid.
Absolutely.
But why did they bring back the Iranian Slaughter bit? Was it just a fucking generic excuse to bring Sheik in? Because they've not had Sheik. Have they had Sheik as a Sheik in any of the past decades games? Because he's only been there as Mustafa so far as I remember.
Was he in Here Comes the Pain?
He was in Here Comes the Pain, but that was 17 years ago.
That's a good point. So no, Iron Sheik has never appeared in a more modern WWE game, to my knowledge.
Do you think they keep Sheik out because they don't want people going and finding his Twitter or his shoots?
Maybe.
Possibly. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, honestly.
I hate that. And of course, Iranian Slaughter is lame.
You could say it's fucking bullshit.
Fucking bullshit! Fuck the tomato! Yeah, anyways, but there's a lot of pleasant, surprise picks, Because, they didn't go for all the big legends. Like, for instance, this was the first year where Hogan was gone because he said what he said. Hogan. Anyways.
Right.
And it feels like a couple of the other big guys are missing, which I think ultimately can work sometimes. I think there are some guys who should be there in every game. I think Macho is a good one to have in every game, for instance. And we all know Stone Cold and Rock are going to be in every game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, Ric Flair is there, and it's first time in a WWE game where I had to immediately go, okay, take Flair off the roster, all right.
Did he do something?
Yes, he
recently?
did.
Oh,
Not recently, but it turned the plane ride from hell has come more into light, and it turned out that he made one of the stewardesses touch his penis,
yeah.
and he, rather than saying sorry, I shouldn't have done that, anything responsible to say, he instead just doubled down. Apparently,
Oh.
Wait, what exactly did he say?
he said something basically along the lines of, "I didn't do that," even though not only did she say it, but several of the other people on the plane attested it, including Justin Credible, and I want to say Goldust.
Hmm.
Supposedly it was Goldust that peeled her off the poor girl. But anyways, to get back to the picks that I was pleasantly surprised by, Ron Simmons.
Yeah.
Has Ron Simmons been in any of the games since 2K16?
No.
Damn.
Right?
Obvious joke, I know, but I do like Ron Simmons a lot. Was this the last game to have all three faces of Foley?
I
I don't
I
think
think
so.
2K17 still had all three faces, but after that, I believe it was done.
Yeah, didn't he jump ship to AEW after, around that time?
No, I don't. I don't think so. But he definitely wasn't signing any more contracts with the WWE because
Yeah.
we did not get Mankind back until 2K20.
Oh, yeah, of all the games for him to come back for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a pleasant surprise.
I'm kind of excited for the AEW game. I have no interest in AEW as a company, but I feel like their game would be interesting to see just because I have no interest in 2K's direction with the WWE games in terms of gameplay, and just want to see what someone else can do with it.
Yeah, absolutely. AEW, and there's a independent wrestling game coming out, the Wrestling Code.
Yep,
Yeah.
although the thing about indie wrestling games is that they never actually come out.
This is true.
Like, I followed a lot of indie wrestling games, and like none of them have come out besides what's it
Action Arcade
called?
Wrestling.
No.
That did come
Fire
out though.
Pro.
I
Fire
wouldn't
Pro is
consider Fire Pro indie though, because that was its own established thing.
That's true, but it's also like an established indie game more so, I'd say. But what was
Right,
the one that
right.
you mentioned, Addy?
Action Arcade Wrestling.
Was that the Chikara one?
It used to be, yes, and then Chikara turned the owner of Chikara turned out to be an asshole.
Oh, what? This
Yeah,
one
Chikara's
has
dead
magic.
now.
This one has magic spells and lightning bolts.
And I didn't say it's a good game. I said it came out.
Okay, but that's not really a wrestling game. That's wrestling with magic and lightning bolts and a fucking
What?
wizard apparently.
Wait, hang on. Don't the new didn't the new 2K20 introduce magic?
Yes.
Like, can't you throw like a Hadoken in that game?
No,
Wait,
but
2K20 lets you throw a Hadoken?
I don't think it can. It lets you throw a Hadouken,
No.
but it does have magical power ups.
It has the
Metal cap.
it's got the Hadoken kind of move where it looks like the character's doing a Hadoken, but there's no fireballs or anything.
Oh, well, that's been there since like 2K14 when Omega was big in Japan. They added that in one of the DLC move packs.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, there was some move. Ted and Clown got into a fucking big stink over it. I remember 2K20 added some, like, magic bullshit laser fist shit you could do.
Yeah, it does have laser fists, and you also have the metal cap. People can turn into metal people in the middle of a match.
That's right. That's right. I'd forgotten about that.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah,
That's
there's this one.
terrible.
It
Yeah.
is.
But yeah, there's Action Arcade Wrestling. There was another one that was retro arcade something or other that we
That shit,
played.
there's literally a guy dressed as a wizard charging up a fireball.
I think his hand's just on fire.
No, I think he's charging up a fireball. And then hold up. Let me get this one. 1 second. Look at that shit.
It does have lightning, yes.
You're just fucking slinging lightning and fireballs.
Why didn't Undertaker ever bother to do that? That would have made his character so much cooler.
Yeah, I know.
They didn't have enough budget.
I think he was just nervous because the last time he like summoned fire, he ended up getting.
Kane.
Wait, no, didn't he? Jeff Hardy was the one who got hit by the pyrotechnics, right?
They both did.
They both did.
Okay.
Yes, that is true. Jeff Hardy had a pyrotechnic incident, and I don't remember when that was, but I remember Undertaker at Elimination Chamber of 2009 or
like,
10.
It was in like a 2-year span. It almost may have happened in the same year.
No, because Jeff was gone that same year.
Yeah, Jeff would have been gone
wrecked.
2009 then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been 2009.
Indeed.
I do remember Taker got burned up pretty badly, and I remember seeing the actual footage of Jeff getting hit on the back with it, and he just immediately crumpled up like a fucking wet paper.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, that's pretty much my week. I guess, do I want to mention a goofy little Warhammer thing that Soon and maybe Addy could just laugh at?
What?
While just sticking around with mods, because that's something that usually shoots for around 100 megabytes, which I can reasonably download, I've been, of course, looking through mods that add new races to Total War Warhammer 2. And I found 4 mods that actually make new Skaven army lists using canon stuff, which is nice. And it's all just like, here's Pirate Skaven. Here's Skaven obsessed with poison. Here's Skaven obsessed with fire. Here's Skaven that have enslaved a bunch of dwarfs, so they're like using super hardcore quality gear.
Right.
And one thing I find very funny is that like they vary wildly in quality. Because the ones that have enslaved a bunch of dwarfs is actually a pretty quality looking army list. I don't know how it is in campaign, or in terms of balance, but it looks cool. It actually looks unique.
Right.
Then the Pirate Skaven look mostly fine, but there's a little bit of goofiness because they carry full blown rifles, but there's no Skaven animation to hold a weapon with 2 hands, so they just hold one rifle straight up in the air with one hand.
Wait, don't they have the animation for the Giselles? Isn't that 2-handed?
Yeah, but there needs to be another dude holding the barrel.
Ah, I see.
And there's one that the Fire Skaven one is it's mostly just reskins of Skaven but red. But hey, they added like lava spiders and stuff. That's cool. And the Poison Team Skaven one is literally just the exact same roster, but all the units are now green. Just found that funny. And also, I gotta mention this, of course. Everybody complains about there being too many Skaven in Total War Warhammer because they keep getting DLCs. So I find it funny that modders went to the lengths of making 4 whole new Skaven races. I think that in Total War Warhammer 2, that would mean that the Skaven would outnumber the fucking humans in terms of races they have.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the end of my week. Yeah.
All right.
Do you think we could call it a podcast?
Yep.
Oh. All right. We need to do Sonic now, don't we?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Well, bye.